What goes on, guys? We're back here again with yet another video, and today we're going over the top 15 action figures from 2023. Now, usually, it's like the top 10 or whatever, then you get some honorable mentions, and it's like, for me, it's just like, I don't really get the point of an honorable mention, so to speak. It's just like, if you really like that figure, then just make it so that your list accommodates that. You know what I mean? Like, if you have like 11 figures that you're like, oh man, these are all so good, I don't know who to change, then just be like top 11. I mean, that's kind of how I'm gonna run it. So I picked my top 15. That being said, about the honorable mentions, I do have a weird mention. I'll talk about that in a second. But I wanted to go over my top 15 action figures of 2023. So this year was interesting for action figures because it was very hot and cold. Like, it was very, damn, this is awesome, or damn, that sucks. Like, kind of in between, and a lot of meh, Like, there's a lot of companies that just kind of were pumping stuff out, and for the first time, I kind of just felt like I was buying stuff because I felt like I had to, rather than I was, like, really excited for things. That's why this top 15, it's pretty much every figure this year I was really excited for. You know what I mean? Which isn't something I want to report, but it's how I felt this year. So I have high hopes for 2024. I really hope we get more stuff that I'm super excited for, rather than just like, oh, that's cool. I mean, who knows? Who knows what's going to release? Who knows what I'm going to get? Who knows what these companies are going to make? But I'm here for it. I'm still collecting, and I'm not stopping anytime soon. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So starting off, I do want to go ahead and name 5 worst figures. What's the point of saying something's really positive without something negative to compare it to? You know what I mean? I don't like to be negative necessarily, but it's just fun. So I'm going to go over some figures that I thought were kind of dookie. But if you like them, that's great. That's awesome. I really hope that you enjoyed them a lot more than I did, because they were a little rough for me. So let's jump into that. So, starting off with the 5 worst figures. Number 5, I did put these in an order, so like number 1 is the worst. Number 5, I'm going to give to the recently released Boss Fight Studios Senku from Dr. Stone. Maybe it's not that bad of a figure, but I was just so disappointed with it. I can't believe how small he is, and while the paint and sculpt is really good, you can't use any of the accessories. Like, he has no gripping hands to hold anything. The articulation not only isn't what it shows on the box, but also just doesn't do things that it says it does on the box. Like, getting the pinky in the ear is so much harder than they made it look on the box. And it just was really disappointing, because I was really looking forward to a good Senku. He is still on my shelf. I don't know if you can see him down there. He is right there. But that's solely because I love Senku. But if it wasn't for him being Senku, it would have sucked. Number 4, I'm going to give it to the McFarlane Toys Flashpoint Aquaman. This thing sucked. I mean, luckily, I just bought it for the piece, and I sold off the Aquaman itself, because I don't want that thing near me, to be completely honest with you. The body's whatever. I mean, I think the color's cool, whatever. I think if you wanted to use that body for a classic Aqua Lad, that'd be pretty cool. But that head sculpt is outrageous. I think it is the worst head sculpt I've ever seen on any figure. It's really bad. Like, really, really bad. So that head sculpt alone got it on this list here. Number 3, I'm going to go ahead and give it to the Mattel Masters of the Universe Masterverse Slush Head. If you remember back to my review that I did of that guy, it's a really cool looking figure, and it has a really good concept, but they just executed it horribly. He does not pose very well, and the functions that it was supposed to have on the box and in the instructions are just not there. The dome piece does not come off. I had to push and push and push. I almost broke it. It was just not a fun figure to play around with. So wait for that one to go on clearance. I still can kind of recommend it, because it's an okay figure. I mean, the figure itself is fine, and it has a cool idea. It's just, I hate being frustrated with things. Like, toys should not make you frustrated, and I was very frustrated with that figure. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say number 3 is Slush Head. Number 2, heading back to McFarlane Toys. Number 2 is the McFarlane Toys Monolith. This is just a mess, okay? Not only does it feel cheap, there's so much paint missing. The articulation sucks. It's expensive, and it has no accessories. I hate that. At the very least, if you're going to charge $50 for a figure, everything you sculpt on that thing should be painted, and it should come with a full set of hands. I'm tired of this one open, one fist hand combo. That's stupid. Give us full fist, full clenches. That's not allowed to ask for, and McFarlane did not deliver on that one. It's not fun to play around with. And again, if I wasn't kind of keeping all up in this line, I would totally have skipped that one. I'm mad that I spent my $5 coupon for GameStop on that thing because it sucks. But the number one figure, worst figure of the year, is the Super 7 Alice in Wonderland's Alice. I hate Super 7. I'm just going to say it. I hate Super 7. I hate when they get a license that I want because it's like, I know it's not going to be good. I know it's not going to be good. I don't like Super 7. They've only ever made a couple figures that I saw and played with that I was like, wow, these are awesome. Sandy Cheeks is a really good example. I really like Sandy Cheeks. I actually think their turtle offerings are typically very solid. I think their turtles line is their best line, but everything else is just cheap. That Disney line is trash, to be honest with you. They're so expensive, and this Alice figure is like this big. It's got dookie articulation. Not that Alice needs a lot of articulation, and I did like the dress, but she comes with not a lot of accessories, and the things that she does come with are very small and dainty, and she broke immediately out of the box. Anything that it breaks immediately out of the box, I'm like, goodbye. And I bought it from my comic book store that closed. I got it on sale. If you remember that video a while ago, I got it on sale. So unfortunately, I cannot return it because plus it was months ago. So there's no way of me fixing it. So I just glued the leg in a standing pose, and she's just going to stand there, and I'm stuck with it. So, whatever. But enough negativity. Let's jump into the top 10. But before we do that, here's my weird mention, honorable mention kind of thing. This probably would have been number one, or at least in the top 3. The Storm Collectibles Baki. So I actually did not get the pre-order in time, and by the time it came out, it sold out everywhere. All my comic book stores in my area were like, they canceled the orders, blah, blah. I don't know what happened, but that Baki was very hard to get, and the aftermarket prices skyrocketed for him. So that really sucked, and I'm a huge Baki fan. Baki's top 5 anime for me. I love Baki. I think it's hilarious. I think it's great. It's action-packed. It makes no sense, and I love it. But I was not able to get it. But what I did do was pick one up, a knockoff off of Amazon. You could probably get them on AliExpress and Temu. They are there. And I was pleasantly surprised with how good it was. I opened it, and I was like, wow, this is really solid. There will be a video for it probably after this one. So just stay tuned if you haven't seen it. If it's not live yet, just stay tuned. Give it a watch. It'll probably be like one of my first videos of 2024. Go give it a watch because it is a cool figure. And for paying a fraction of the original retail price, I think I paid like $35 after shipping. That's pretty damn good. I'll take that. So I just wanted to throw that in there because I don't think it's fair to say Storm Collectibles Baki when I never played with the actual one. But the knockoff is really damn good. So, yeah. But for real this time, let's go ahead and jump in the top 10, or, excuse me, top 15 with number 15. Whipping in at number 15, we have the Hasbro Adventure Series Indiana Jones Indy. Now, this is awesome. See, I love Indiana Jones. And honestly, this line is not for everybody. It's a lot of people in suits, and people aren't going to like that. It can be a little boring, but for me, I love Indiana Jones, and so far I have all the original characters, which sucks because I did a lot of indies, and some of them come with Build-A-Figure pieces, and I want to build the Temple, the Doom skull, and the table, but whatever. This figure is really damn good. It proves that Hasbro, if they take their time with things, can do a very nice job. Now, it is not perfect, and don't mind the whip. My cat ate half of it. I'm not happy with him about that, but he did that a while ago. But I really like the paint on the jacket. The paint on the hat looks good. The sculpt is very nice. The head sculpt looks just like Harrison Ford. He's a lot of fun to play around with, and I was very pleasantly surprised with how awesome this figure turned out. Hopping into the number 14 spot, we have the DC Multiverse McFarlane Collector Edition Captain Carrot. This swooped in at the last minute. I literally got it like the day before New Year's. Like, I think I got it like December 29th, 30th, 31st, something like that. And technically, that means I bought it in 2023. And it's damn good. I really like the articulation on him. He's a lot of fun. He's not perfect. He does have issues. If you watch my review on it, I'm going to try to get all these videos up before this comes out. But I don't like the legs, and I don't like the diaper, and he should have came with another fist hand. And while that seems like a lot of issues, I can't put him down. Like, he's so fun, and he looks really good regardless. That head sculpt alone with the ears is awesome. So, coming in at number 14 is Captain Carrot by McFarlane Toys. Hide your cats, because coming in at number 13, we have the NECA Toys Alf. Now, Alf is not a character that I was hankering to have. He's cool. I know who Alf is. He actually used to scare the shit out of me as a kid, but, you know, what are you going to do? But NECA killed it on this figure. I mean, NECA always kills it, as you will see as the video goes on. But it's a great figure. The articulation is wonderful. The paint is great. The sculpt is accentuated with that paint very nicely. And he's just a lot of fun. He comes with a lot of cool accessories. That cat sandwich is awesome. So Alf was a lot of fun and a surprise for me for sure. The only reason he's so low is because I don't really care for the character very much. He's just there. But love a good puppet. Alf is a great on. Gliding in at number 12, we have the Hasbro Marvel Legends No Way Home's Green Goblin. This was also a surprise for me. Now, this figure is awesome, but, you know, I wasn't expecting it to be as awesome as it is. The paint, or plastic, I guess. I mean, the paint's good, but the plastic color that they used for the green is very nicely done. The sculpt is amazing. The glider looks great. And he's just cool to pose around. I really like that the pumpkin bomb sits like clipped into his hand. That is very, very nice and something that I was not expecting, but I'm happy that they did it. So he turned out great. He's not perfect. I don't like the way they did the ankles. It should have been a ball hinge so that they could rotate at the ankle as well. I hate that figure stand, but the Willem Dafoe head sculpt is great. And it's the only Marvel Legends on the list, spoiler alert, but they did a great job on this one. I also do want to shout out the Across the Spider-Verse Spider-Punk. I should have put that one on this list too. I kind of forgot about him, but then I was like, damn, that was a really good figure. So shout out to Hobie, but this is a really cool figure. Doc Ock maybe in top 10 of next year. I don't have Doc Ock yet, but Doc Ock's my favorite Spider-Man villain from the movies other than Mysterio, so we'll see, but Willem Dafoe looks great. I'm loving this one. Coming in at number 11, we have the Mattel Masterverse Too Bad. I was not expecting this to be in my top 10. I was hoping that Whiplash would be, but I actually found myself liking Too Bad more. I think that his design is cooler. He's a lot of fun to play around. I really like the two-headed nature of him. I think that it's fun. He came with cool accessories. I like the way that they work, like on the figure, like how that rotates. And it's painted beautifully. Like, the wash on the blue side is great. I mean, I don't know if they have individual names, but I was pleasantly surprised on how good this figure was. And it's one that I said was probably going to be in the top 10. And you know what? It still squeaked its way in. So, yeah, they did a really good job on this guy. So, Mattel, Too Bad. Opening the gates to number 10, we have Bowser from Jakks Pacific. Man, they killed it on this. Not only is it a fun action figure, but it's a fun toy. The fact that he can breathe the smoke is great, or the vapor. I really like it. The paint is pretty cool on this guy. The sculpt is awesome. The articulation is a little pre-posed, but it's whatever. I don't really care about that. What I care about was getting a cool Bowser for the shelf, and the movie Mario one is the best. If you want to put a little bit of paint on this, I think it would go crazy, but the sculpt is there. I mean, just look at that Jack Black Mario Bowser head sculpt. It's wonderful. And again, not perfect, but he was an awesome figure and one that I wanted to put in the top 10 since I got him. I will say, I'd be fine if I never heard Peaches again in my life, though. Waddling in at the number 9 spot, we have the mighty Megalosaurus himself, Earl Sinclair by NECA. He's not perfect, guys. I know it, but I freaking have always wanted a dinosaurs line. My biggest problem with this guy is the scale. I think he's a little too small. I think his tail is too short. And I think he's a little short, but other than that, he's perfect. The paint is amazing, the sculpt is great, the articulation is what it needs to be for a character like Earl, and he just kicks off an amazing line of something that I can't wait to get the entire family from. Honestly, you could swap him out with Baby too, Baby Sinclair. I'd be fine if you put him on there too. I was tempted to put both of them in the number 9 spot, but I like to keep it one per customer. So yeah, this is a great figure. He may be a terrible dad, but he made out to be a great figure. Now my number 8 spot will not be fitting on the rotating stand, so stomping in at number 8, we have the Mattel Hammond Collections Brachiosaurus. And yeah, this is kind of the best I can do for you guys right now, but this figure is amazing. Mattel knocked it out of the park with this damn dinosaur. I cannot believe how well they did on her. I mean, just look at the head sculpt. She's wonderful. It's my favorite dinosaurs from the movie. The main dinosaur. I love Dreadnoughtus, but I don't think we'll ever get a Hammond Collection Dreadnoughtus. But yeah, Mattel did an amazing job. I mean, just look at how big she is. She's got all the articulation you'd want from a regular Hammond Collection figure, and she just makes me hope that the Hammond Collection continues and we can get a huge array of Jurassic Park dinosaurs, because she's a great one. This is my favorite figure from the line so far, and hopefully they keep making more. So yeah, number 8 is the Hammond Collection Brachiosaurus. Number 7 is a little bit of cheating, but I don't really care. Flying in at number 7, we have the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Collector Edition Hawkman. Now, I say it's cheating because technically this is a kit bash, but I would have put it in there if it was just the chase anyway, because I have wanted a classic Hawkman since the line started. I love Hawkman. He's not the most complex character necessarily, nor is he like the most powerful, but I like weird characters with cool backstories, and this is one of them. He looks great in my opinion. Hal Carter is the Hawkman for me, and this is my Hal Carter. I think he looks great. I'm super happy to have it. The sculpt is amazing. I love the chest hair on the common one. That's why I put it on here. And if you mod it up a little bit, put a little bit of elbow grease into it, it's totally worth it. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put Hawkman at number 7. On the hunt at number 6, we have the NECA Toys Predator from Hulu's Prey. I mean, do I really even have to say anything for this one? This one really speaks for itself. Just look at the paint, look at the sculpt, and know that he moves around and that he comes with everything you could ask for from a Predator. He looks fantastic. He poses around almost as much as you'd want. It's the best articulation I've ever seen on a Predator from NECA, and it's just amazing. It's just amazing. I mean, just look at that nasty ass head sculpt. It's amazing. I think a lot of people are going to have this in the top 10. I've seen 2 lists so far, and both of them have had this guy in there, and I think that's rightfully so, so I had to give him my spot on there at number 6. Stretching into the number 5 spot, we have the Diamond Select Toys Mr. Fantastic. And the only reason I put him above the Predator is because I like Mr. Fantastic better than Predator. He's my favorite member of the Fantastic Four, and they killed it. It is so awesome to finally have a stretched out Mr. Fantastic that can go with my Marvel Legends. Because honestly, if Diamond Select keeps making figures like this, I mean, because you could honestly swap this out with Miss Fantastic too. I debated putting her in the top 15 as well. She's a great figure too, but he just was more fun to play around with. I mean, sure, if the neck was bendy, that'd be awesome, but I'm okay with the pre-posed one. It is so fun to finally get Marvel figures that have accessories that accentuate their powers, because they're superheroes. I want to see their power set. And another company doesn't seem to get that. We keep getting the same fucking accessories. So to get new accessories for an awesome character is amazing. This isn't even everything it comes with. For the same price point as Marvel Legends, maybe $2-3 more, you can't tell me Hasbro's not doing a crappy job with the license at this point. So yeah, love this Fantastic Four figure. It's amazing. Go pick this guy up if you haven't yet. Flying in at number 4, we have the NECA Toys Disney's Gargoyles Steel Clan Warrior. Again, Just look at it. It speaks for itself. NECA is amazing at making these kinds of figures. They are great at taking a source like the source material isn't that complicated, but they take it and make it so complicated in the best way possible. The articulation is wonderful on this guy. The accessories are amazing, and the paint sculpt speaks for itself, especially considering the price point. This thing's like $40, guys, like $36 to $40. It's amazing to see what NECA can do with this kind of stuff, and of course, it earned a spot in the top 10 at number 4. Breaching the number 3 spot, we have another NECA figure. We have the NECA Toys Universal Monsters Leonardo as the creature from the Black Lagoon. I don't even know what else to say other than just let the figure speak for itself. The paint and sculpt is maybe the best I've ever seen on an action figure. Like, ever. It's amazing. And he doesn't pose great, but he doesn't really need to. I think the coolest part about these figures for me is the amount of creativity that NECA puts into them. His freaking katana are harpoons, and one of them has a piranha on it. Are you kidding me? Get the fuck out of here. It's amazing. That shell with the trilobites on it is great. That head sculpt is wonderful. The accessories. This isn't even nearly everything he comes with. And again, at the $35 to $40 price point, is amazing. And it just shows how NECA cares about and love what they do. Man, this figure is so damn good. Go ahead and get it if you haven't. Kicking in the number 2 spot, Jada Toys Street Fighter 2's Fei Long. I think this is going to be a lot of people's number ones, and it was for the longest time until another figure came in and swooped in at the last minute. But this is an amazing figure, and it's crazy coming from me as somebody who's not a big Street Fighter fan. I don't really care about Street Fighter very much. I've only played a handful of times on the arcade. Like there's a comic book store near me that has like free arcades, so whenever we go, we play for a couple minutes. And I played a little bit of we had an arcade close to me when I was younger, but I'm not the biggest Street Fighter guy. But this figure's so damn good. Jada really came and hit the ball so far out of the park. It's not even funny. All of the lines that they've gotten their hands on have been wonderful, and I'm just surprised that I like this figure as much as I do. It's so fun to play around with. It's super high quality and at an amazing price point. So yeah, I think this is going to be a lot of people's number ones, and I don't really blame you if you do that. But for me, my number 1 was a different Jada offering. I have the Jada Toys Cheetos Chester Cheetah. It's amazing. I never in a million years thought my favorite action figure of the year would be Chester the mother flipping cheetah from Cheetos. But holy crap, $25 for the amount of paint, accessories, and articulation you get in this is crazy. He is so fun to play around with, and despite his thin joints, I don't feel like he's going to break at all. He's not fragile. It's wonderful. Jada killed it with this figure, and he was an easy number 1 the second I took him out of the box. He is so much fun to play around with, and it's a character that everybody knows. So yeah, I really hope they do more like this. I'll take all the cereal mascots, all the food mascots. I'll take fucking the Car Fox if they made it. If Jada made it, I'll buy it. So yeah, number 1 with ease is the Jada Toys Chester Cheetah. Seeing all these figures here is awesome. Seeing them all together, it really does validate that I made a good choice with my top 15. Again, let me know what you guys think about my list and what your top 15 are, because there's mine, and I'm very happy with it. There it is, the Zach Toys top 15 action figures of 2023. Here's to 2024 being even better. These figures are awesome. I know they're not for everybody, but I like to try to give a variety of figures in my top 10 instead of just everything's Hasbro, everything's McFarlane, everything's Mattel. I like to try to give a variety of different figures. And I know that some companies lean heavier into than others, but that's just my opinion. You know what it is. But before we got out of here, I just wanted to say thank you for all who have watched. in the past year, whether you've subscribed, just stopped on by, anything like that. I really, really appreciate it. I know I say I want to do a giveaway all the time, but the goals that I keep saying just aren't being met, and that's okay. You know, I people grow slower than others, and that's totally fine. But once we get to that threshold, I do want to do a giveaway for you guys for sure. I'm just waiting for that right moment. You know what I mean? So, but thank you all for stopping by and being a part of the channel and getting it to what it is today. I've grown a lot this year. The analytics were very nice this year to me for what I'm happy with. You know, other people look at it and be like, that's ass. But for me, I'm okay with that. I like it. It's awesome. You know, and I started to see some, you know, turnover, which is very, very cool. But yeah, I've had a ball. I plan on doing more lives in 2024. That's something that I have a goal of. Just have a good time with y'all. So with that being said, I believe that's all I got for today. If you have not already, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Also be sure to follow me on Instagram, Letterboxd, and TikTok. I post a lot on all of those apps, especially TikTok or Letterboxd. Get me on Letterboxd. But I post a lot on those apps, and I have a good time, so I'm sure you all will too. But as always, what did you cop this year? And what were your top 10, top 20, top 50 action figures of 2023? I don't care. I just want to hear them. Let me know in the comments. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
What goes on, guys? I wanted to hop on here again and thank you all for watching, and to let you know that if the following apps interest you, feel free to follow me on them, as I put the links in the description for you guys. I really appreciate everything you all do for me, so DM me with any questions or thoughts. I'd love to sit and talk with you all. Again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.